Now at 9, a married couple who operates a business in southwest Missouri now charged with stealing. Plus,
after decades, Nancy Pelosi says she's stepping away from a leadership position in her party. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington with more on the next slate of leaders in Congress coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. A married couple who operate a Lamar, Missouri business are now both charged with stealing. Dennis and Brenda Masters own and operate the Rustic Barn Flea Market in Lamar. Tells you that previously authorities had charged Dennis Masters with the theft of thousands of dollars worth of payments and goods. Now the prosecutor has added 2 felony stealing charges against both Dennis and his wife Brenda. All right, meteorologist Doug Heddy getting on that suit jacket. He's pumped. He's ready to go. He's popping up that collar, checking his makeup, putting on his microphone right now. He is so pumped. He's jumping around right now.
I thought that first story was a package, man.
I'm sorry. Snow, huh? Snow tonight, right?
Yeah, we got some snow going on right there. A little bit. This is mainly. Did you? Whole big block for you.
You're fine.
A little bit of snow out there, not too much. You can see it kind of flying around. Now, most areas along North 544 really aren't going to see much in the way of snow. It's mainly going to be our far southern counties. It's not that big of a deal. But we are going to really cool down. 50 is where we topped out. 20 was our low. Average high is 58 degrees. And look at these temperatures cooling down. We're dropping through the 30s. The winds are picking up, so the wind chill factors are going to be low tonight. And of course, we're going to have a little bit of light snow. Most of this not reaching the ground, evaporating a few thousand feet up. It's mainly I-44 and south that will get some light snow tonight. Of course, we're going to look at the rest of the weekend to the weekend and Thanksgiving here in just a bit.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't know that your microphone was not working. I would have brought you one. I'm sorry. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, thank you so much. The Wesley House, Pittsburgh's first United Methodist Church, and the Community Health Center in Southeast Kansas, working together to expand services to some of the areas most people in need. KOAM Seguba Medeli has more about how this partnership is going to work.
A new partnership by the Wesley House, Pittsburgh First United Methodist Church, and the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas will provide new programs, more staffs, and services to help meet the needs of low-income families in the area.
A lot of times, again, we are providing services at point of time when they need the care and they need the service. This really allows us to go further and expand that conversation of, again, what our community members are seeking for their future and for their family's future.
Gannon says community volunteers play a huge role in their first official joint efforts.
This is all donation based, so again really shows the strength and the helpers that we have in the community to come pick up a box and have everything they need for their family based on household size to enjoy a warm meal at home.
The group will serve the community on Christmas by providing a food box.
And people would come in, sign up for a Christmas box. We'll provide them with food and toiletries as well as a meat voucher to Ron's Supermarket. And they will come pick it up mid-December and have the 3 meals for the day of Christmas.
Pastor Cho of the United Methodist Church says the partnership also lets them practice what love is about in their lives.
We want to practice what love is about in our real life. So love is more than just feeling. So we just want to follow and practice what love is about in our real life. So that's why we started this mission.
With the new partnership, they hope to reach 400 families with the Christmas boxes. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Shangu Bamdele, KOAM News.
The Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas is the largest not-for-profit federally qualified health care center in Kansas. Local artists and restaurants worked together to raise money for a great cause. Pottery artists and soup makers from Southwest Missouri today participated to make bowls and soup for people to purchase as part of Watered Garden's Empty Bowls event. Money raised from those sales is going to go directly to 4 privately funded organizations that prevent hunger as part of its ministry.
It's a beautiful event that brings everyone together. There are beautiful handcrafted bowls. We've got generous restaurants that have donated all this delicious soup, and it really brings everyone together either over lunch or dinner, and they can celebrate the fact that every bowl is worth 15 meals, and then they also have something they can take home as a reminder.
This fall, the group pre-sold 300 of the bowls. It's awesome. Preserving history is a precious activity. One of the most common ways of preserving it is through time capsules right there. Steadley Elementary in Carthage, Missouri took time out this afternoon to dig a spot for a time capsule. Inside the new time capsule was pictures of current students and faculty and last year's yearbook.
And then later on, when somebody digs up the capsule, if everybody that had their signature on it was still alive, then they could come over and see them dig it up.
The new time capsule is a 25th anniversary capsule. The old capsule, by the way, there was an old one, was not opened because people just couldn't find it. Sometimes that happens, right? But how cool would it be if that old capsule is someday just stumbled upon? I think it'd be pretty cool. Well, a new read on the housing industry as mortgage rates see the biggest weekly drop in more than 40 years. But as Fox Business correspondent Jerry Willis reports, there's still a long road ahead for the housing market.
These days, if you want to be a homeowner, you need to earn at least six figures as spiking mortgage rates and rising housing prices have pushed monthly mortgage payments through the roof. New data from Redfin showing that a home buyer has to earn $107,000 to afford the $2,600 monthly mortgage payment on the typical U.S. home. That's up 45% from $73,000 a year ago. Mortgage rates have risen this year at their fastest rate on record. Today, though, that number falling to 6.61%, according to Freddie Mac, and incomes, of course, haven't kept up.
The income needed to buy a home is well above what the median income is in this country. And that means that, you have to be part of the upper class to be able to afford a home now, when previously home ownership was seen as a way to enter into the upper class. Now you have to already be there to be able to afford that starter home.
Fully 45 cities have now entered the 100 Grand Club, up from 16 last year. Many of these metro areas are located in Florida. Northport, Florida leads the list. In that town, situated between Tampa and Fort Myers, buyers need to earn $131,000 annually to afford the typical monthly payment of $3,200. That's a 73% spike from just last year. Other Florida cities on the list include Miami, Tampa, and West Palm Beach. Meanwhile, Chicago and the Bay Area had a small uptick in income necessary to afford a home. The study assumes buyers pay no more than 30% of their income monthly for housing. In New York, Jerry Willis, Fox Business.
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi will step down as a leader for her party next year after leading for more than 2 decades. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard reports on the big leadership shakeup from D.C.
A standing ovation for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi as she announced she will not seek another leadership position. She made history as the first female Speaker of the House and has served as a top Democrat for nearly 2 decades.
For me, the hours come for a new generation to lead the Democratic caucus that I so deeply respect.
The announcement also comes after Pelosi's husband was attacked last month.
We're all grateful for all the prayers and well wishes as he continues his recovery. Thank you so much.
The House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer also announced he too will not seek another leadership position and offered up an endorsement, writing, "Now is the time for a new generation of leaders, and I am proud to offer my strong endorsement to Hakeem Jeffries for Democratic leader."
I think it's always good for a party to have new blood and new invigoration, enthusiasm, and new ideas.
Speaker Pelosi will hand the gavel over to Republicans in January. The GOP caucus has elected Kevin McCarthy to be the next Speaker of the House. Thursday, prominent Republicans from the House Oversight Committee announced they will lead investigations into President Biden and his son Hunter Biden's business dealings.
Rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse will be the primary goal of a Republican House Oversight Committee. As such, this investigation will be a top priority.
Pelosi will stay on as a representative serving San Francisco, as she has for the last 35 years. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Luther Hanshaw served in the U.S. Navy as a chief obstacle man. We are proud to thank Luther Hanshaw, a native of Columbus, Kansas. He's tonight's four-state hero. Coming up, a bold entrance for winter.
People in western New York are bracing for several days of heavy snowfall. I'm Mallory Rivera in Buffalo, New York with the details coming up.
Ticketmaster had bad blood with Taylor Swift fans across the country today. The agency canceled the public sale for Swift's latest tour date because of an extraordinary high demand for pre-sale tickets. According to the CEO, things just got out of hand. They weren't prepared. Several fans said they encountered issues with the site, putting Ticketmaster under fire. A heavy snowstorm is on the way to western New York. Officials in that area are asking people to just stay off the roads, stay off the streets, because this one is going to be a big one. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more from Buffalo, New York.
1 week ago, 70 degrees. This week, we'll have an epic snowstorm.
Western New Yorkers are hunkering down for what's being called a potential historic snowstorm. The National Weather Service cautioning people the storm is likely to be, quote, extreme, which is the highest category on its winter weather severity index. Storm warnings are in effect through the weekend.
That level of snow coming down with that intensity is what creates the dangerousness. Please stay off the roads. Work remotely if you can.
Streets are being salted, schools are closing their doors, and dozens of flights have been canceled, all in preparation for this storm. The state is deploying more than 350 plows on the roads, and local crews will be working around the clock to clear the snow. Parts of western New York can see up to 6 feet between now and Sunday.
It will not be safe for a considerable amount of time for motorists to go back on the roads.
Officials are also warning the dangers won't end when the snow stops. Those digging themselves out should keep this in mind before heading out.
Most deaths that occur during winter weather events are deaths of exertion. So when you get ready to shovel out, go slow, wear warm clothing, and take extra breaks.
In Buffalo, New York, Mallory Rivera, Fox News.
It's a lot of snow. Goodness, Doug Hedges up next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, a look at how dating has changed over the years.
Well, it's definitely getting much colder outside, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours tonight. And then, of course, into the daytime hours for us tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be much, much colder than what we even saw today. Here's a live shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is getting a few spitting flurries and light little snow showers, mainly from Joplin south. It's not going to be a huge deal. I think the cold's going to be a little bit of a bigger deal over the next 24 to 36 hours. Down to 34 in Nevada, 39 Chautauqua, 37 in Chanute, 37 in Anderson. Everybody's going to continue to drop back eventually into the 20s. I've been watching light snow showers here at 7th and Range Line. You can see a few flakes flying. 38 north winds at about 10 to 15. Humidity is at 60%. We're going to continue to get those light snow showers for us tonight. Northerly winds behind a cold front kind of ushering in this cooler air, and it also makes it feel colder than what it actually is. So we already have wind chill factors upper 20s, and these are going to drop into the teens later on tonight. All right, light snow showers out of here by morning. Can't rule out a few flurries tomorrow. We're going to start in the 20s, overnight low of 24 degrees, and look at the light snow across the region. Now, all this northern half isn't reaching the ground. It's evaporating 3, 4, 5,000 feet up. It's a little more moist once you get really from Joplin south, so that's where the snow is actually reaching the ground. It's not in Pittsburgh, not in Cherokee, Kansas, not out toward Independence, but once you get into Joplin south, and this is mixing with a little bit of rain, we are seeing it reach the ground, and that's where the snow showers are going to be as we go through the overnight hours tonight. So this band will continue to sink south into northwestern Arkansas over the next several hours. But here's our jet stream pumping in that colder air from Canada, and it's definitely going to feel like it. In fact, here's our wind chills by morning. That's pretty cold. Single digits, northern counties, teens everywhere else. And all day long, our wind chill factors are going to sit into the upper teens. So make sure you bundle up if you are going to be out tomorrow. All right, let's go through time. We're going to stop at midnight. Still snow showers reaching the ground south of I-44. Staying in our southern counties through the night. Pretty much out of here by morning, but look at the clouds. Stick around all day long. Temperatures really have a hard time warming up. Maybe lower 30s at best. So it's going to be one of our colder days we've seen so far. Any snow accumulations would be super light, a dusting, maybe upwards to a half an inch in our southern counties. Day planner for you, clouds most of the day, 26 in the morning, 29 by noon, 5 p.m. backing to 29, high temp of 33 degrees, and that is it. 21 tomorrow night. Back to 43 Saturday. Pitt State, they got their game. It's going to be chilly, but at least it will be dry. 48 on Sunday, 50s. And then we cool back down as we head into Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about that system because that could affect some traveling next week here in the second half hour.
It's going to get cold tonight, like you said.
It is.
All right, see you in a little bit. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Coming up, scientists say people are putting more thought into dates. More on this love story next.
Stop waiting.
The Affordable Care Act has apparently helped some Americans kick the smoking habit. According to a study in the journal on addiction, U.S. adults with mental health and substance abuse disorders smoked less than those without health insurance coverage during the first decade after the passage of the law in 2010. A new study in the journal BMJ finds the widening gap between personal disposable income and the cost of housing may be leading to poor health, deaths, and suicides. Researchers found social spending on unemployment and pensions benefits, as well as rent control programs, could help lower these risks. Dating game is changing. A new study finding single Americans are setting new standards in what they're looking for in a partner. Fox News' Ted Linder explains.
The search for happily ever after is changing for many adult singles in the U.S. A new study by online dating service Match finds American singles are increasingly taking a healthier and thoughtful approach in their dating lives. It's all part of a new trend called conscious dating.
And what we're seeing is that a lot of adult American singles are focusing in on their dating life. They're prioritizing their dating life. But with it, they're also prioritizing things that they think are important, that they should do, and potential dates.
Singles are becoming less fixated on attraction and more on self-care and mental health.
87% of singles in our sample said that a partner that prioritizes their mental health is important. So it's not only that we're thinking about it ourselves, we want to see that potential partners also recognize the importance of mental health, physical health, connection.
In life after the pandemic, economic issues and political events like Roe versus Wade are also having a huge impact on how people date.
People are interested in dating someone who's open-minded politically. Overall, people who have some interest in a lot of these issues.
Dating experts believe these new preferences and behaviors will stick around for a while as singles date intentionally and look for long-term committed partners.
The number one trait that 94% of people agreed with was a partner that they could trust and confide in.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
Next, scientists say they found the fossils of a car-sized turtle. Look at that. You'll learn more details.
Hey, it's
Paleontologists giving us a glance at one of the largest aquatic turtles on record in Spain. That's a creature right there. Big one. It's a fossil fragment of the shoulder and hip of a new kind of turtle species. When scientists put it all together, this animal measures more than 12 feet long and just under 4,000 pounds. It lived, by the way, during the final chapter of the Age of Dinosaurs. People who love flying may get excited by an offer from Frontier Airlines. If you like Frontier Airlines in a way, it's all you can fly pass, costing $599 the first year. Now, very important details, okay? $599 the first year. You might be all happy and stuff like that. This pass is going to auto-renew at $1,999 the second year, unless you cancel. So, cancel in my opinion. But, you can do whatever you want. Pass offers unlimited domestic flights, including to Puerto Rico, and they are valid for a 12-month period beginning May 2nd of next year. That first year, right, that trial period, I'll be going to every beach. Every beach. Just soaking it all in. 31 minutes news, weather, and sports coming away. Pittsburgh Police Department receiving new equipment to see how it's going to help them protect the community. Plus, triple whammies for a lot of ERs across the country dealing with 3 viruses in particular. Pittsburgh PD is going to receive new equipment. KOAM's Kerry Worthen spoke with the Deputy Chief of Police for more on this story.
I am so excited for this thing. It's going to be so neat when it gets here.
On November 8th, the Pittsburgh State Commission authorized the police department to make a purchase through Axon Enterprises for 55 of their new Taser 7 devices.
The tasers we have currently, the X2 model from Taser, we've had since 2014, and they're 8 years old. Some of them are starting to show advanced signs of wear and disrepair, so it's about time to upgrade to a newer model.
But the police officers will get more than just a taser. They will get hands-on training to better protect our community.
With the tasers, we're getting a training package that includes a bodysuit that we can actually do hands-on training with, plus a virtual reality training suite that includes VR goggles, headset, tablet, and I don't know what the term they're going to use, but it's like a VR taser, and it allows us to introduce our officers into scenarios where they can encounter persons in crisis in different scenarios.
The cost of this program is going to be $240,000 that is going to be used through the public safety sales tax.
Plus, we're going to get 2 people once a year for 5 years. We'll get to go to one of them. We get to go to a master's level training course. We'll go to get to a basic instructor level training course. So we're going to have additional training aspects being able to come into here and help our officers. So it's just going to be it's a wonderful thing. We're very thankful and fortunate for the public safety sales tax to be able to do this anyway. But also, through the assistance of the federal government, we're able to get the $235,000 reimbursement. So we're getting a huge package for just literally $5,000.
It will take about a day for each officer to be trained on the new tasers. In Pittsburgh, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
Along with regular training, 2 people from the department will go to get additional training for 5 years for a master's level training and basic instructor level training class. Some Pitt State electrical technology students today took some time off to place light switches over at the Ronald McDonald House in Joplin. It's part of an ongoing partnership between the school and Ronald McDonald House to keep its facility up to date while also giving students a chance to work on their skills.
Teaching them how to replace a switch with current on, so we have proper PPE on them, safety glasses, that type of thing, and it's a good safe environment for them, because in reality is we teach not to do it hot if you can keep from it, but reality is they will be in situations where they'll have to.
The Ronald McDonald House helps families with seriously ill children who are in the hospital. Students, faculty over at Pitt State interested in politics had a chance to meet professionals today. The School of History, Philosophy, and Social Sciences at PSU hosted 3 judges from the Kansas Court of Appeals. The judges spoke about their work, met some of the faculty and students.
I just kind of want to learn a little bit about what they do and how they do it, a little bit of the background that got them there, and what they enjoy about their job and different opportunities that are in that law field for individuals who are coming from Pitt State like myself.
This visit is part of the Kansas judicial system's ongoing efforts at outreach to communities and institutions in Kansas. A Dutch court convicts 3 men who shot down a Boeing 777 back in 2014 in a tragedy that killed 298 people. A district judge convicted 2 Russians, 1 Ukrainian, with murder for launching a Russian-made missile from war-torn eastern Ukraine at Malaysia Airlines flight MH17. The judge said the men believed it was a military aircraft. Okay, they believed that, but the mistake does not excuse their intent to kill people on board. The 4th suspect was acquitted in the trial, and the guilty men have not been arrested, by the way. Today is the last day to file a simple tax form. If you're one of the 9 million Americans with unclaimed stimulus or child tax credit payments. The IRS began sending letters last month to alert those who are eligible. The IRS filing website is going to stay open until midnight. Multiple celebrities, including Tom Brady, Larry David, Steph Curry, have been named in a class action lawsuit over the collapse of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. The lawsuit accusing the celebrity endorsers and the company's ex-CEO of targeting, quote, unsophisticated investors who later lost money in the collapse. The Bahamas-based company filed for bankruptcy last week and is now the subject of inquiries from federal regulators and Congress even. The dreaded combination of COVID, RSV, flu cases is causing the nation's emergency rooms to become overwhelmed. Fox News correspondent Molly Line is in Boston with this story.
It's not just here in Boston. Emergency rooms across the country are under serious strain.
Janet Cook's recent visit to an emergency room at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston was, in her words, horrible.
I was in excruciating pain, vomiting, unable to walk. I had hyperventilated.
Janet waited 8 hours for a bed, languishing in a hallway with other patients, and her case isn't unusual. Facing what's being dubbed the tridemic, a surge in COVID, along with cases of flu and RSV, a respiratory virus, hospitals across the nation are in crisis, ERs overwhelmed. According to the American College of Emergency Physicians, the situation has been years in the making.
It's just gotten to a breaking point where we're seeing literally people dying in waiting rooms across the country because there is nowhere for them to go outside of the waiting room.
The technical term for this medical purgatory is boarding. And a recent ACEP survey underscores the system overload.
We found that 97% of emergency physicians say that the boarding of their patients lasts for at least 24 hours. And about a third of those who did that survey said that it could be up to a week.
Dr. Terry says the situation is so dire, her organization sent a letter to the Biden administration urging federal intervention. In Boston, Molly Line, Fox News.
A bit later, more dough for that Thanksgiving Day dough.
The cost of making Thanksgiving dinner has jumped 20% over 2021. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have details straight ahead.
Well, we are getting a little bit of light snow out there in spots across the four-state area. It's not going to amount to much, but we do need to watch it. We could get a few slick spots later on tonight as the temperatures continue to drop. Here's indigo sky. You can see it's snowing there, so that's right outside of Seneca, Missouri, just to the west of Seneca. All right, also the temperatures are really dropping. We had a cold front roll through, so we're sitting mainly into the mid-30s. We're going to drop into lower 20s. Later on tonight, we're looking at 7th and range line. We do have some light snow. It's kind of hard to see in the lights. 38, north winds at about 15, so that makes it feel like 30 degrees. Those wind chills will continue to drop tonight. Snow showers the next several hours, mainly our southern counties. Drop into the 20s, overnight low of 24 degrees. Look at the snow really blossom. Now, when this moved in, it wasn't reaching the ground. It was evaporating 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 feet. And then we've been able to saturate kind of the southern half of this. And now we are seeing that snow reach the ground. It's not in Pittsburgh, but through Cherokee, Jasper County, and points south, a little bit out toward Lebec County, and then also northeastern parts of Oklahoma. But light to moderate snow showers. It's just kind of blowing sideways in the wind. But this wave will continue to sink south as we go through the rest of the overnight hours for us tonight. And the colder air just continues to work in right from Canada. So it's actually going to get colder as we go into Friday. Look at our future wind chills. So this is by morning, single digits to about 15. So you need to bundle up if you're going to be out early. And really wind chills stay in the upper teens all day long on our Friday. All right, let's go through time. Snow showers along and south of I-44. Here's midnight. Let's go to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Most of these are gone at this point in time. A lot of clouds as we start the day in the lower 20s. Can't rule out a random flurry or two. We just don't warm up much. Upper 20s by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, 30 to about 33 degrees, and eventually we'll start to clear out a little bit for us later on tomorrow night, which will be nice. But clouds most of the day in the 20s, high temp of 33 degrees. Let's jump ahead. Let's go to next week. It's Thanksgiving. We're going to warm back up into the 50s. But we got to watch this storm system. Wednesday's a big travel day. By late Wednesday night, showers, could be thunderstorms. And as that colder air works in on Thanksgiving, we'll have to see if it switches to a little snow on the backside. So that's something we want to watch as we go through the next several days. But right now we are just cold. Light snow showers tonight, 33, flurries tomorrow, 43 on Saturday, 48 on Sunday, 50s return Monday and Tuesday, and then rain moving in toward the holiday. So if you are going to smoke that brisket of yours.
Yeah, better cover the smoker, huh?
Cover it up.
Yeah. All right, thanks for that suggestion, man. I appreciate it, okay. All right, coming up in sports, Pittsburgh State Gorillas preparing for their first playoff game in 8 years. Plus, most so women aiming to stay perfect in their home opener against Angelo State. Jacob Leonard has host highlights and more next.
We're here. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are back in the Division II National Playoffs for the first time since 2014.
The Gorillas get a home game to begin the postseason, hosting the University of Indianapolis on Saturday afternoon. Pittsburgh State is 11-0 heading into this one, claiming the outright MIAA championship along the way. Indy is 9-1. They're also conference champs, winning the GLVC this fall. For the Gorillas, there's not a ton of playoff experience on the team, but they're excited for the opportunity they have on Saturday and happy to bring playoff football back to Carney Smith Stadium.
It feels good, to bring back what they expect, The standard is the standard. We all came here this is what we came here for. We came here to play games like this, so it feels good to be back at that point, but we're not done yet.
It means a lot. I'm just so glad that we could do it, especially for our seniors this year. Guys like PJ, Mo, and Malikas and Zeke Wall, the fact that we get to do it with them and them coming back for another year and putting their jobs on hold and coming back for us, it means a lot, and I'm glad that we could do it for them this year.
There's nothing quite like the jungle, so any opportunity, my opportunities are limited to play there, so any opportunity I have to play there, I'm excited about it. I'm ready to go.
The Missouri Southern women are off to a 4-0 start to the basketball season. The 19th ranked Lions have been on the road for each of their first 4 games. Today, though, Southern plays at home for the first time, trying to stay unbeaten against Angelo State. First quarter, Chrislyn Jones, she had a nice day. 3-ball here from the left side. More from Jones in a bit. Lacey Stokes, 3-ball here. Lions up 7 after 1. Stokes scores 17. Second quarter, Chrislyn Jones, she goes 4 for 6 from 3, scores a team-high 18. Look at the ball movement, eventually finds Maddie Stokes for the easy lay-in. Then Amaya Johns gets going, bucket and the foul. Before the half, Southern gets the takeaway. It's Stokes getting it to Amaya Johns, 16 and 6 for Johns. Southern up 12 at half. To the second half now, Lane Skiles good from 3, she scores 12. Missouri Southern shoots 50% from the field today, including 7 threes. Lions get to 5-0, beating Angelo State 83-66. A pair of Carthage High School standouts signed today to continue their careers in college. Both of them will play softball at the next level. Ashlyn Jackson headed to Southeast Kansas to join the Fort Scott Community College program. She was an all-conference and all-district pick this season. Landry Cochran is going Division II, signing to play at Drury. Now, Cochran is a 4-time All-COC selection for Carthage and has the program records for both single-season hits and career hits.
It's awesome to think about. I mean, whenever I was here in high school, I just wanted to make memories, have fun, do the best I could while I was out there, and I think that's what I did. I would love to earn a leadoff spot there. That's the spot I love. I would love to play center field, so that's what I'm going for.
Everybody's just like a family there. They just all are behind each other, like they all want each other, have each other's backs through everything.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
With Thanksgiving just a week away now, millions are getting those groceries for the big holiday and getting sticker shock in the process. Analysts say we're going to spend 20% more this year for the same meal as last year, a pretty substantial bite out of people's wallets and budgets. Fox reporter Caroline Shively has details from D.C.
Gorging on you every November has been an American tradition for 400 years. But with the average price per pound up 21% from last year, we may have to switch to Thanksgiving hamburgers.
Food prices are just outrageous. I think it's possibly one of the most impactful commodities that we're having as a society going up.
It's not just a poultry price hike. The entire meal will cost you more in 2022. The American Farm Bureau says whipped cream and pie crusts are up 26%. A bag of stuffing mix climbed a whopping 69%. And check out the increase for the entire meal over the last 2 years. A study from Wells Fargo says since the price of groceries has gone up at a faster rate than dining out, it might cost the same to have that holiday meal at a restaurant this year.
Thanksgiving is so much about family that I would never want to go out and eat on Thanksgiving. My family all cooks together, and since we all have the same things that we eat, we make everything together. So I feel like I would never want to eat out no matter what the cost was.
Another challenge, the Alliance to End Hunger says its members have reported higher need at food banks with lower donation levels.
With the rising cost of food, we wanted to make sure that all the families, more families than ever before, had access to the things that they're going to need to have a family meal.
The price of only one item, fresh cranberries, dropped by 14%. In fact, some people are skipping the meat entirely this year to save money, something these Thanksgiving experts fully support. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Coming up, some behind the scenes of Russell Crowe's new movie. For a second time this year, Disney is going to raise prices for most of its Florida theme parks by about 12% starting next month. Visitors to the Magic Kingdom right there, Epcot and other major attractions can plan to pay for just over $100 to $189 for daily tickets, with the highest ticket price expected during the busy week from Christmas, of course, to New Year's Day. This is also the first time all 4 parks are going to be priced separately. Russell Crowe's latest film is a real passion project and one he took on many roles for. He tells us all about Poker Face, which is in theaters now and on digital November 22nd. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Cheers, lads.
Russell Crowe writes, directs, and stars in high-stakes thriller Poker Face, about a tech billionaire who sets up a big game for his friends with a big price. Crowe admits it was a gamble to take on.
I was called and it was like, the director has had to leave because he has family health issues. The script is in an absolute mess. The sets are half built. If you say yes, you keep 280 people employed, but you've got 5 weeks before your first shooting day.
The film ended up being a personal project to say yes to.
Just before that question came up, in my real life, my father had just passed away. So being my father's son, I elected to put the families of those film crew people first and keep them employed.
Russell says he then wrote what was on his mind.
It eventually becomes a movie about legacy. So I'm really talking to the death of my father, and what he may have done differently if he had known that he wouldn't be there anymore.
Now, as the Oscar winner expands even more on his work in front of and behind the camera, he shared one of the best pieces of advice he received early on from fellow actor Brian Brown.
He said to me that the thing that you have to accept is the very, very best thing about working in feature films is also the very worst thing. The job will always finish, so respect it and stay in the game as long as you can.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Seems like a good movie. That's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Gonna leave you tonight with video of otter pups enjoying the snow at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.